Welcome back, Bulls Nation. If you're a Chicago Bulls fan, you're going to want to stick around for today's video because we have some groundbreaking news that's shaking up the NBA right now. It's not just a rumor anymore, this is a story that could completely alter the future of the Chicago Bulls. We're talking about Anthony Davis, the superstar from the Los Angeles Lakers, who has just dropped a bombshell statement about his connection to Chicago, and let me tell you, it's got fans everywhere buzzing. In a recent interview, AD made a bold declaration that Chicago was always the dream for him. That's right, the guy who's been dominating the NBA for years has openly stated that he's always wanted to play for the Bulls. The question on everyone's mind now is, could this dream actually come true? Is Anthony Davis headed home to Chicago to finish his career with the Bulls? It's a crazy thought, but after hearing AD's own words and looking at the current landscape of the NBA, it's worth exploring just how this could happen. So, before we dive deep into the potential of this situation, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell because you won't want to miss the latest updates on all things Chicago Bulls. Now, we all know that AD's story isn't just about basketball, it's about the city of Chicago itself. Born and raised in the south side of Chicago, Anthony Davis has always had a deep connection to the city. He attended Perspectives Charter School and later became a basketball phenomenon at Kentucky before entering the NBA as the #1 overall pick in 2012. So, it's no surprise that he's always had his eyes on the Bulls. The real question is, why now? Why is he talking about this so openly when he's still under contract with the Lakers, a team that just 2 seasons ago won the NBA championship? AD has been an integral part of the Lakers since he arrived in Los Angeles, and it seemed like the perfect fit next to LeBron James, a duo that many thought would dominate the league for years to come. But as we know, the NBA can be unpredictable. The Lakers, despite having star power, have been facing challenges in recent seasons, whether it's injuries, inconsistency, or the pressure of chasing titles. Could AD be ready for a fresh start, and could that fresh start be in Chicago? It seems more possible than ever. AD recently sat down for an interview, and when asked about his future, he made it clear that Chicago has always held a special place in his heart. He said, "Growing up here, I always saw the Bulls as a team that I wanted to play for. It's not just about basketball, it's about the city, the fans, the culture. Chicago has always been my dream." These words are a game changer for anyone who follows both the Bulls and the NBA. You've got a guy who's one of the top talents in the league, who could potentially be looking for a new home, and he's telling the world that his dream destination is the very city that many fans here in Chicago have been hoping for. It's like everything is lining up for something big to happen, but the question is, how likely is it that we'll see him wearing a Bulls jersey anytime soon? Let's talk about what the Chicago Bulls have to offer. We all know the team is in a rebuilding phase. They've got some solid pieces in place with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, but they've been missing that key player, someone who can anchor both the offense and defense and lead them back to playoff contention. That's where Anthony Davis comes in. Imagine a starting lineup with LaVine, DeRozan, Vucevic, and AD. Now that's a team that could seriously compete for championships. On defense, Davis is a game changer. His ability to block shots, protect the rim, and guard multiple positions would instantly elevate the Bulls' defensive capabilities. Offensively, he's not just a force in the paint, but has the ability to stretch the floor and even hit mid-range shots. He would give the Bulls a dimension they've been lacking for years. And we all know that in today's NBA, it takes both sides of the ball to win championships. But for this to happen, the Bulls would need to make some serious moves. AD still has a massive contract with the Lakers, and Chicago would have to figure out a way to fit him into their cap space. This is where things get tricky. The Lakers may want to either trade him or, depending on their future direction, look to rebuild by acquiring younger players and draft picks. If that's the case, the Bulls could have some valuable assets to offer. Players like Patrick Williams, who's shown potential but hasn't fully developed yet, or Kobe White, who has been a scoring threat at times, could be part of the package. Throw in some future draft picks, and suddenly the Bulls are in the mix for AD. Now, we know that the Lakers aren't just going to hand over a player of Davis's caliber without getting something substantial in return. But if the Lakers are looking to reshape their team, the Bulls could present a tempting offer. Let's also take a moment to consider what AD's arrival in Chicago would mean for the city. This isn't just a move on the basketball court, it's about reconnecting with the heart of Chicago basketball culture. The Bulls have always been a team with a legacy. From Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen to Derrick Rose, the city has produced some of the greatest players the game has ever seen. Bringing in someone like AD would reignite that passion and energy that this city has for basketball. The fans would be ecstatic, and the atmosphere in the United Center would be electrifying. You can already picture the packed house every game, with fans chanting AD's name, excited to see the Bulls finally put together a team that can go toe-to-toe with the best in the NBA. And let's not forget about the impact AD could have on the younger players in the locker room. Chicago has some promising young talent, like Patrick Williams, who could learn a lot from AD. Davis's work ethic, his attention to defense, and his basketball IQ would be invaluable to these rising stars. He could be the veteran presence that helps guide the Bulls back to relevance and even back to championship contention. That's the kind of leadership the Bulls have been lacking. Of course, there's still a lot to work out before we can even start dreaming about seeing AD in a Bulls jersey. The Lakers might decide to keep him, or maybe they won't get the offers they're hoping for. The Bulls would have to pull off a big trade, and there's always the possibility that other teams could get involved in the bidding war for AD's services. But if this dream scenario does play out, it would not only change the trajectory of the Chicago Bulls, but would also be a massive statement to the NBA that the Bulls are back and ready to compete for championships again. So, Bulls fans, what do you think? Is this the move that could change the future of the Chicago Bulls? Would you want to see Anthony Davis come home to Chicago and bring this team back to its championship glory days? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video if you're as excited as I am about the possibility of AD joining the Bulls. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest Chicago Bulls news and NBA analysis. We'll be here, bringing you all the details as this story unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Bulls!